Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another week of KKP Rhapsody, the show that points out the best and most noteworthy gaming news of this week. Even with our country's government trying to be patronizing towards women, there are still some uplifting stories here and there. Let's get right to it. The COVID-19 pandemic is disrupting many non-essential businesses all across Malaysia, including a particular Malaysian video game store chain that rhymes with Baby's Day Out. And it seems that there's a bit of kerfuffle going on behind the scenes. According to a recent reveal via Twitter, the management behind the company is forcing its staff to take annual leave or get unpaid leave during the COVID-19 lockdown while working from home. The tip-off started with Daniel Ashman's Twitter post, who is a former employee of the store in question. Sources close to Kakuchopurei has confirmed this, alongside other details. The company has its employees working from home during the MCO. Keep in mind that said gaming store is mostly a brick-and-mortar setup. The internal memo shown here was made before the MCO, hence the date. Workers are not sure whether their employment is guaranteed after the 14th of April, which is the new closing date of the MCO. On the company's work chat group, one of its employees asked if they will get paid leave, which led to the other staff asking why the company is not complying to government orders. The chat group was disbanded by top management. This was followed by the HR manager stating that the group chat was supposed to be quote-unquote work-related only and the staff was quote-unquote exploiting the chat. It's pretty crappy that this is happening, considering the corporations are supposed to be paying their workers during the lockdown. Rumors of Level Up KL 2020's postponement are greatly exaggerated. Well, it's actually a good-natured joke since it started surfacing on 1st April. But it's still good news, because Level Up 2020 is going to happen, albeit in a slightly modified approach. Following an exclusive chat between Kakuchopurei and the MDEC team, led by Mohan Loh, the organizers of Level Up KL are in the midst of preparing several contingencies for the event, which is targeted for October. One of them includes running the entire event online, with news conferences and seminars delivered directly to your computer screen. October is still a long time off, so expect smaller scale digital events aimed at stimulating the industry within the next 2 or 3 months. Hashtag Malaysia Boleh. Man, why do these bad news always happen to some of my favorite games? The devs of last year's loot and shoot wonderkind, Borderlands 3, were not given their launch success bonuses from Gearbox despite being told that they were years prior. This is pretty shocking because this 2019 Kakuchopurei awarded title is described by its publisher as a billion-dollar global brand with huge sales success. See, back in the day, all Gearbox employees who worked on Borderlands 2 will get 5- and 6-figure bonuses if their mothership title sells well. Some long-time employees got enough of a bonus to buy their own houses too, back when Borderlands 2 was a huge hit. Now, turns out the extra money earned by Borderlands 3's sales is now used to recoup the game's entire budget. US $95 million for the main game and US $140 million for all of its DLC and updates. This is pretty scummy, especially when you factor in that Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford took a US $12 million bonus from the company when Borderlands 3 started development in 2016. We won't be shocked at the least if its employees leave en masse after this development. A lot of publishers and digital distribution sites are selling their games on the cheap due to the state of the world right now. And all for the better too. For instance, Paradox Interactive is selling its simulation, RPG and strategy titles with discounts on Steam. This is to help raise funds for the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Solidarity Respond Fund. Digital distribution site Humble Bundle is also offering a ton of great games to raise money to fight COVID-19. Spending US $30 will net you a full bounty of PC games, including Into the Breach, Hollow Knight, Undertale, Wizard of Legend, and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. If you know of any other sites that are doing the same, do let us know on kakuchopurei.com. Some good news for Final Fantasy fans, at least for those living in Australia. The game is out right now, ahead of its 10th April release date, because its street date was broken by certain third-party distributors. Square Enix themselves said they will not be able to control when physical copies of the game will arrive. Due to the nature of the worldwide pandemic going on, many countries are limiting entry and closing their borders, thus limiting and restricting the distribution and delivery of non-essential items. Video games are non-essential. Thus, this will affect the arrival of physical copies of the game in certain countries. Some savvy third-party distributors planned ahead of time and are keeping physical copies of the game in storage. Guess Australia got the better end of this proverbial stick. The rest of us will have to wait. Though if you want it on 10th April, your best bet is to go digital. In fact, you're allowed to pre-download the game right now, as soon as this video is out, so that it's ready for play on the date itself. Just some advice for those playing the game right now: refrain from spoilers. Yes, the plot of FF7 is out there for all to see since the PS1 original has been out since 1997. But the remake has some new content and new versions of cherished scenes, as well as a thirsty Jessie. So yeah, don't spoil it for the rest of us, especially for those wanting to experience it super fresh next week. If a remake of a classic JRPG isn't your thing, you can at least look forward to The Last of Us Part 2, which is coming out end of next month, which everybody is looking forward. That's it for this week. Just remember, stay safe, wash your hands, go out only when necessary, practice social distancing, and make sure to stay the fuck home. Until then, that's the way the world pixelates.